I can't believe I'm saying this, but welcome to episode 300 of the Quo-Cast here on YouTube. There have been 300 videos, including this one, uploaded to YouTube on the Quo-Cast YouTube channel, and I am extremely grateful to everybody who's ever watched, listened, or participated in any way, shape, or form, whether you've left one comment or 1,000, or you've come on and you've talked to me about the greatest rock and roll band in the land. Now, I've told this story before, but back in 2019, I was at a real low point, a low ebb, and I was on medication and really struggling with my mental health, and it felt like all of the doors had closed on me. I had tried many different things over the years, predominantly to get into the radio industry. That was my real dream. And in 2019, after a number of things that one day I will talk to you about, I came to the conclusion that that was pretty much it. And so I didn't really know where to turn. And I was encouraged by my wife to go ahead and try different things. And so I started to look in the direction of this new medium that had just sort of become mainstream called podcasting. And I knew that it had to be more niche. It couldn't be as broad as it was before, but I could work out a specific audience that was interested in what I had to say. I didn't have to filter anything or change anything to suit anyone. It could be to the people I wanted it to be to. And so the Quo-Cast was born because Status Quo, on more than one occasion, has got me out of so many problems and issues and holes over the years through their music and the story of their career. The amount of times I've put on their music in order to kind of hype myself up and go to the next thing. And I felt like maybe this was another point where they could help me, move forward in some way. And initially, it was going to be a temporary thing. I was going to interview maybe 6 to 12 people, tribute bands, fans, all that sort of thing. And then it just ballooned out into something much bigger. And during the pandemic, there were a lot of people who came on, and it started to go more towards YouTube. I started to experiment with that side of it, and it suddenly became a video show as well as a podcast. And that's incredible to me because, like a lot of fans, I've been collecting over the years. I've been listening to this music. And so the opportunity to give my opinion on things and to review stuff, and even new products that come out, it just added an extra thing. And it's helped me so much to be able to look at the camera that I've got in front of me here and just feel like I'm talking to a friend, because I'm sure many people will know the idea that when you're a fan of Status Quo in an era before the internet, sometimes, especially during those low points where they're not exactly the coolest band on the planet, it can be pretty lonely. And so through doing this, I'm talking directly to fans, and I have had so much communication from you, and I've made so many friends through this podcast. And I'm not going to say that I was completely, my mental health is completely cleared or whatever. It isn't. I'm still having a lot of issues on a weekly basis, but it's much fewer than it used to be. And part of that is because of the podcast, the YouTube channel, and Status Quo in general. It's just something that's really helped me to kind of come out of my shell a little bit and see what is possible. So I'll bring this ramble to an end. But before I do that, if you'd like to be a guest on a future episode of the podcast, you can email quocast@outlook.com. That's quocast@outlook.com. You can tweet or X at the Quo-Cast on X. Give us a message over there, or check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/the Quo-Cast. You can also follow us on Instagram, and don't forget as well to subscribe to the YouTube channel, because the more subscribers that are up there, the more chance I have of continuing this journey and putting out more content to do with the band, and maybe even attracting even more guests. But we'll wait and see on that one. I'm often asked what is my favorite episode or guest or whatever, and this sounds like a really lazy answer, but all of them. I love hearing the various perspectives of everybody. No one perspective is the same. For a band where people often say, oh, it all sounds the same and it's all the same thing and there's no like complexity to anything, there are so many different opinions about different eras and different songs and albums and times. And it's just endlessly fascinating to see it broaden out and broaden out, whether it's somebody that's a fan that's just kind of sat in their front room or whatever listening to Piledriver, or someone who's seen them 100 times, or someone who's played on a support bill with them, or even somebody who's paying tribute to their music through playing in a tribute band night after night, understanding just what it is to play Rick Parfitt's rhythms, or Francis Rossi's solos, or John Coughlin's drum parts, or, you know, Alan Lancaster's growl in his voice and his bass parts there, or even how each lineup differs. Like the Frantic Four from post 85 to 2000, to then 2000 onwards, and the various different things. As they used to say, it's a very wide selection to go from. And I enjoy every single minute of it, doing the interviews, doing the reviews, doing all the discussion pieces. And once again, I'm extremely grateful to all of you for listening, for watching. Anyway, this has been episode 300 on YouTube of the Quo-Cast. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now.